What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS, here to bring you another WNBA slate breakdown for the 3-game WNBA slate today. If you guys are new here and you're enjoying this type of content and stuff, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you can get your breakdowns, prize pick plays, whatever it is that you want. Doing a lot over here on the channel and only going to continue to grow. And if you're enjoying this content and you're enjoying what I'm putting out, make sure you hit the like button. It definitely lets me know that you guys are enjoying this stuff, and I will continue to do it moving forward. Yesterday, I put out a 6-pick over on the Patreon, so if you guys will subscribe to the Patreon, which if you're not, check the links down in the description below. Patreon is right there. It's $10, and I promise you, you make that back within your first week. I'm not the only one that puts out content there. My boy BK and a whole bunch of other content providers that we have that are pretty good at what they do. We put up stuff every single day. Yesterday, I put up my 6-flex play. You can't see the bottom part of it because it's cut off on my screen. But Chelsea Gray, A'ja Wilson, and Aaliyah Boston, all plays that I talked about on stream in regards to just how they should perform in these spots. And I found some props that I like for each one of them going forward. A'ja Wilson was actually Dion's play of the day for her free throws. It was at 4.5, but still 5, worth the push. And she pretty much smoke checked that within the first half, if I'm not mistaken, right there. Then Aaliyah Boston, just what she was able to do out there before. If the game was to stay close, we did say Aaliyah Boston would actually have to have a good game. I was originally on her PRA, which if you took that, I did put out a 2-pick on stream of A'ja Wilson fantasy score first half and Aaliyah Boston PRA 13.5 first half. Both of those cashed, easy day. So if you played that, then you also cashed on the ladder challenge that I'm doing as well over here for the WNBA weekly. I played $10 on that yesterday, so now we're up to 30. Gonna be going in with 20 today for another 2-pick, and I will get that out. I might put it up on stream, or I might just drop it on the community tab. But definitely subscribe so you don't miss that, so you can get that as well. But our 3 WNBA plays, they killed it. And then down here to the bottom, you can't see them, but I had Cease to go over 3.5 MLB live. Strikeouts, he got that. Castillo, 37.5 pitcher fantasy score. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a sweat in that the first three periods, because he did not look great at all in those couple of innings. And then he turned it on, ended up getting 7 strikes, pitched 7 innings, of course got the quality start, and he got the win, so smoked it. He got 46 fantasy points. And then I had Strider and Sonny Gray for their less than first inning runs allowed. So all in all, pretty good 6-pick hit. Like I've said before in regards to it, whenever you're playing on Prize Picks, if you're trying to do like the 5-flex and the 6-flex, mix it up with other sports, because it becomes a little bit easier versus trying to just take all of one sport and putting it in together. At least that's just my opinion on it. If you guys want more plays like this, or if you want to be able to play on Prize Picks, check the links down in the description below so you can get that deposit match bonus, and join me over here on Prize Picks as well. Getting into the slate that we have on hand, is 3 games, 3 actual pretty good matchups. I'm gonna say all these teams that are playing on the slate today, they're matched very equally. I'll say I don't expect any type of blowouts on today. All the games should actually be close. Looking at it, all of them, they're sitting at what, less than 5 for their spread, so that's good. So we expect some pretty good contests on today's slate. First game, we got the New York Liberty taking on the Suns. Dolson, she's still gonna be out with that ankle sprain, so of course that's gonna mess with their bench big rotation. I'm gonna touch on that a little bit because there is some value on the New York Liberty side in regards to who we can take from that side. For the Sun, of course, Brianna Jones, she's out for the season, so we already know that. We've had a couple of games under our belt now with that news, so not too much of a shakeup there. We know what's going on with that. Going over to the Storm taking on the Lynx. Horston, she is expected to be out with that shoulder injury, and due to her being out, we've seen someone else step up in that spot, and they're kind of priced pretty cheap today again. So we got some value on the Storm side again off the bench. And then going over to the Lynx, we are supposedly, Diamond Miller is expected to play today. Hasn't been announced if she's going to start or if she's going to come off the bench, but I would imagine that she's going to start. On top of Diamond Miller being back, they have lost Tiffany Mitchell. Tiffany Mitchell is going to be out today. Jessica Shepard, she is still out, and Ariel Powers is still out as well. With Tiffany Mitchell being out, it's already been reported and said that Lindsey Allen will move into the starting lineup, and she will be the starting point guard for today's slate. So we've already gotten that news, and then we just need to make sure Diamond Miller, she's going to start. That'll be the only other thing that we need to know for sure. With Diamond Miller expected to be back and starting, then that's going to move Bridget back to the bench, so we don't have to worry about that crazy value that we're having right there with Bridget being in the starting lineup. But we get Lindsey Allen cheap, so we have that. And then going over to the last game of the night, we got the Wings taking on the Phoenix Mercury. My Dallas Wings are in a downward spiral. have not looked great. It's really hurting my heart on how we're looking. It really is upsetting. But same old for the Dallas Wings. DeShields and Lopez, they're both still going to be out. Regular, same starters that we have over there for the Wings. And then for the Phoenix Mercury, DT and Brittany Griner, they both came back last game. Only played limited minutes, but the bigger news, besides the fact that Gustafson, she's going to be out today, and Shea Petty is still also out. We need to know if Sophie Cunningham, she left last game with a back injury, and we saw Mariah Jefferson start for her in her place. It's the last game of the slate. I doubt we're going to get that news. Backs are a little tricky. I kind of tend to not mess with players that have back injuries or back problems because your back can seize up, lock up any moment in time on you, especially while you're out there running up and down the court. So I would want that news. I know we're probably not going to get it, but it's not going to necessarily affect how I look to the players that I'm targeting from that game. So not too worried about Sophie Cunningham, but if you're on her or if you're going to play like a showdown or something like that, you're going to want to know that news. And then the other biggest thing for them is that they fired their head coach. And now the intern head coach, Nikki Blue, I believe that's her name, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at it earlier. But they got it. Their interim head coach, their assistant head coach, she's now going to be the interim head coach. She is stepping up into the plate. So it'll be a little bit of a coaching change. How that's going to really affect things for them, that's to be seen. We're going to figure that out tonight. They had practice yesterday. I've looked at pretty much all of the interviews and stuff from that practice that I could get my hands on. Players and everybody, they've talked about how they just, they're feeling good, great practice. They executed on offense, went over defensive stuff, so on and so forth. Nikki, she seems like she's very excited, like the players have her back. And normally in these type of positions, we see players want to back the coach, the new coach, go out there, get the win and stuff like that. So I'm expecting the Phoenix Mercury to come out and look much better than what they've had over the past couple of weeks. So that'll be interesting to see, definitely breaking down this game, because both these teams kind of bottom of the league in regards to their defense, and they score. The Phoenix Mercury, they've had a little bit more issues in regards to scoring, but whenever they're on, DT's on, or Brittany Griner comes out there and actually be dominant like what she could be, it should be a good game nonetheless. But going over to the King, the site that I play the most on, the site that I have been winning this money on. If you guys would like to join me over here on DraftKings, check the link down in the description below so you can get a deposit match bonus and come win over here with me on the King. Breaking down the first game, we have the New York Liberty taking on the Sun. This will be an interesting game. I expect it to be close because, you got pretty much what everyone's considering the super team in New York Liberty taking on the Sun, who have not slowed down since losing Brianna Jones. They've still gone out there. They're still playing their style. They're still playing very well. We've seen players step up in her absence on the Sun side, and Tiffany Hayes, Heidemann, and another player that we're going to get to when I get over there. But game will be close. Don't expect a blowout. Vegas doesn't expect a blowout. It's a 5-point spread in favor of the New York Liberty right now, so they're favored. Of course, when it comes down to it, you always got to pick your poison. And right now, we're going to get pretty much Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas up there in that 12K range. So there's value on the slate. I'm not going to lie. There's definitely a lot of value on today's slate where you can get up here for Breanna Stewart. Like it always is in cash games, Breanna Stewart, she is cash safe. Same thing for Alyssa Thomas. They're both cash safe. The question is, do I have to pay this 12K for them? As we've seen on Sunday slate, you didn't have to play Breanna Stewart. You didn't have to play Alyssa Thomas to smoke check the slate like I did. You really didn't. I put up 249 and did not have neither one of them. I just played a pretty balanced lineup, and that's kind of what I stress. If you can find the value that lets you get all these other players that are in really good spots, you don't have to necessarily pay up for these top-studded players, especially when the slate is actually a decent and good slate. And that's what we have today. Now, Breanna Stewart in cash games, I will say she looks pretty fine. She's coming off of back-to-back mid-level games. I want more from a player that's going to be 12K, 12.8, 12.5, 12.4. I want more than what she's given up in these last couple games. I know she has a 60, 70 burger in her, but the only thing with that is the fact that this is going to actually be Jonquil Jones' coming home game. She's going back to the team that she played for in the Sun. She was the one that wanted to leave, so maybe we might actually get the Jonquil Jones revenge game in this spot. Sitting at 8-4, coming off of one of her more poor games of the season. 23 minutes and only gave us 10 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 assist, 0 points. I would expect her to bounce back, especially you don't have any Breanna Jones to contend with. You're going to get Alyssa Thomas. You're going to get Dewana Bonner, or whoever it is that they can try to put on Jonquil Jones. I still think Jonquil can go out here and have a pretty decent game, considering she should have the size matchup and the advantage out there. When they played the Sun, she played 16 minutes and only had 12.25 fantasy points in that. Now, if she comes out with the vendetta, she comes out and gets her normal minutes, get those 25 to close to 30 minutes, because her minutes were going up. She might can go out here and smashes at 8-4. Might. I'm not going to put all my eggs in the basket, but I definitely don't hate her right here in this spot. To the other side, you got the guards, of course, for the New York Liberty. Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Lainey, Johannes. Johannes, of course, she's a 6 woman sitting at 5'3". Don't hate that at all for Johannes, but I don't think that we have to pay for the sharpshooter here on today's slate. If she's not knocking down threes, she ain't doing too much for you. Lainey, she's in a pretty good spot, sitting at 8'2". With Dolson being out, she's one of the people that have seen her minutes go up. Granted, this game also did go to overtime that they played going up against the Mystics. She played 36 minutes, she dropped 28 fantasy points. If Lainey is on in regards to her scoring and she can actually get out there and rebound, maybe get a little bit on the defensive side, she does pretty well. She's not bad at all. I do like that. But Lainey, to me, has the same archetype as God, Kayla Thornton, who's sitting at 3-7, and also did see an increase in her minutes with Dolson being out in that first game. At 3-7, really great value. She played 24 minutes and gave us 15.5 fantasy points. 5 points, 2 steals, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. Now, if they're getting bullied and they maybe want to decide that they want to put out a Thornton to increase the defense, or Lainey gets in foul trouble, Jones gets in foul trouble, anybody gets in foul trouble, something like that, they don't have too much coming off that bench besides Thornton, Sabally coming in there. So I could see Thornton playing some decent minutes right here. And at 3-7, I do not hate that as value on today's slate. Definitely would be probably a lower owned play because of the other players that we have on the slate. But Thornton, I do feel like you have to have her on your radar in regards to, hey, she could be actually a decent pick. Over here for the guards, I'm really kind of not on Sloot or Sabrina today. Sabrina did pop off for me last time. 38 minutes, dropped 51.75 fantasy points. Do I think she could do that again? Possibly. First time going up against the Suns, she played 31 minutes and gave us 31.75 fantasy points. So pretty much a point per minute play out there. And then Courtney Vandersloot sitting at 9-3. She played 34 minutes and gave us 45 fantasy points, 18 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. If we're feeling like Sloot can go out here and dominate and do that again, I don't hate that. We do know that the guards over here for the Sun, they can't get in foul trouble. Hayes, she's seeing her minutes go up, and with the minutes going up, that also means the fouls can go up too. Now, she's played 24 and 26 minutes in these last 2 games without Brianna Jones. She gave us 31.5 fantasy points in the first game, 19.75 in the second game. So, of course, it still is a mixing pot in what we can get from Hayes, but you would have to have her in consideration because we do know that both Sabrina Ionescu and Courtney Vandersloot, they do give up some pretty good fantasy point numbers to opposing guards, just like we're seeing Natasha Cloud just pop off against them. It's going to be a toss-up in regards to which one I have more trust in. And I'm going to be honest, I would rather just come and pay down for Carrington here at 4-7, who has seen her minutes as well go up with Brianna Jones being out. Now, I will admit, we've seen this before already early in the season where she played 22, 29, and 21 minutes, and she was doing very well, looked very good. And I jumped on her in this game going against the Storm. You would expect her to get the minutes, very cake matchup, good spot for her, and she only played 13. I don't have that fear today just for the fact of the rotation is a little bit shortened. You got Rebecca Allen out there. If Rebecca Allen's not doing anything, then, of course, you're going to want that offensive punch that Carrington can bring. Hayes gets into foul trouble or Heideman's not hitting her shot. She's not doing anything. Carrington is going to come in and play that backup guard role, that shooting guard or that point guard role. She can do both. As we've seen last game, she had 17 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. I like that for her sitting at 4-7. Playing against them the last time, she only played 1 minute. This was when they were on their bull crap with the Suns, playing her just, here, you can play this. Now she's actually getting decent minutes and run. I do have a lot of interest in her here, especially because we know guards have lit up the New York Liberty. I will have her on my radar. I have no choice but to. Allen sitting at 5'9". Again, there's better value on today's slate. I don't feel like I have to pay 5'9" for a player who, of course, once again, relies a lot on if her three-point shot is going down, if she can snag some steals and blocks. If not, she's not really going to get there for you. Let's see. Last time going up against the New York Liberty, she played 16 minutes and gave us 4.75 fantasy points. I'm not saying that's what she's going to go out there and do today, but again, there's better value on today's slate versus going to Rebecca Allen. Forward side, we already talked about Alyssa Thomas at 12K. You kind of can't do no wrong in regards to her. We know the ball's going to be in her hand. Triple-double upside once again. Triple-double leader now in the league after coming off that one on Sunday. And last time she played against the Liberty, she had 33 minutes and only gave us 16 fantasy points. So if you feel like she's going to be actually shut down today, maybe her and Brianna Stewart cancel each other out. Maybe her and Jonquil Jones cancel each other out. But again, 12K, I want more, and I think there's better value at other forward spot today versus going to putting all your eggs in the basket in this spot right here. Going over to the Storm, taking on the Minnesota Lynx. For them, of course, we know where it all starts and begin. Jewel Lloyd is the first one, and then Easy Magbogor is going to be the second person that we're going to look at on this team. Both of them are in prime great spots. You're taking on the Lynx. The Lynx, last time Lloyd did not play in that game going up against the Lynx, so we don't have anything go off this season in regards to it. But we do know the Lynx give up a lot of fantasy points to the point guard position. Jewel Lloyd just so happens to be a point guard who is also the point leader in the league. Coming off of 24 points, 4 steals, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, 46.25 fantasy points against the Phoenix Mercury, and a very good spot right here going up against the Lynx. I don't have any gripes paying up 11-1 for someone who I know is going to put on a show and pop off. In fact, I actually like a game stack from this game of if you might be able to fit Lloyd, Easy, and Fee on the other side. And if you want to get some value, you can go ahead and play Lindsey Allen as well. We know Lindsey's going to get the minutes. There you go. You got a nice little 4-game stack right here you can play and find you 2 more pieces from each other game. Boom. Might be a winning GPP line right there. Or, I mean, honestly, it doesn't hurt to toss us into the 10K up top to first. Definitely is something that you can consider. With Horston being out, we did see other players step up. I also feel like because Ivana, she got into foul trouble in that last game in the beginning. She legit picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. That really kind of limited what she did in regards to her production. She only played 16 minutes, gave us 15.5 fantasy points in the spot. And I'm not going to lie, I want more from her, especially going up against the Phoenix Mercury. Now, she's playing against the Lynx. Let's see. Do we have it in here? No. Let me pull up Line Star real quick. See if we have her game log for what she did going up against the Lynx. Did she play in that game? No, she did not play in that game going up against the Lynx, so I can't even show you guys that. But again, we do know if she's going to get the minutes, she can definitely go out there and produce. I don't hate going to her at 7'9" if you're not trying to pay up for a Jewel Lloyd. Kia Nurse, she's hit or miss. She's 5'1". She played 19 minutes, only gave us 19.75 fantasy points. So pretty much she gave a fantasy point per minute. Not bad. Of course, I'd want more from my starting small forward. With Horston being out, of course, we're going to see Yvonne Turner, Sammy Whitcomb. Both of them are going to get some decent burner run in minutes. Turner, she played 22 minutes, gave us 15.75 fantasy points. Not going to lie to you, that is ugly value. Ugly value. If you want to go there, you can go there. But again, I will tell you, that is ugly value to me because you never know what you're going to get with her. When I rather would come over here to the 4 position and just get Joanna Holmes. Joanna Holmes, she went out there, she played 26 minutes and dropped 31 fantasy points. 12 points, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 2 assists, 6 rebounds. Now, she was a force out there. She looked great out there in the time and what she was playing. Yes, that game did blow out. I do expect this game to be a little bit closer. Last time going up against the Lynx. Let's see, did she play versus the Lynx earlier this season? Did she play? Nope. I swear, I could have sworn that the Lynx and the Storm have already played this season. Might be actually crossing games right now. Or either I'm just crazy. No, yeah, they did. No, did they play? No, they did not play. Okay. I'm crazy. I could have sworn that they played earlier this season. My bad. But nonetheless, still Holmes, she's in a pretty good spot, especially with Horston being out. We do know that she can go ahead and get some more burn. Definitely see the minutes sitting at 3,600. I do like that for her again in this spot. If she's going to at least see 20 minutes, I know that she can go out there and she can produce in the time that she's given. We've seen that already in a couple of spots where she's been given a pretty decent leash in regards to getting some burn and run out there. So at 3,600, another value play that you can go to on today's slate. And then again, like I said, Easy Mabagor, I like her in the spot here going up against the Lynx. We do know they've given up some pretty good points, fantasy points to both the power forward and center position, which is both positions that Easy has played. She's coming off of back-to-back stinkers going up against the Fever and the Phoenix Mercury. This is definitely a spot we can see Easy pop off of 40-plus fantasy points sitting at 10-4. That's a value on today's slate for a player who we know they have priced her up to 11K and higher than this on different slates. Over here to the Minnesota Lynx side, like I said, the Lynx, they're getting players back, but at the end of the day, it still starts and ends with Fee. Fee is going to be the one that you're going to want to look to. She's been very consistent. Cash safe, of course, at 11.6. I will gladly go ahead and pay up for that. I did mention the game stack that I would consider running if I'm going to run something over here. We just know the consistency that she brings to the table every single time that she's out there now. Looks more comfortable, looks in rhythm. She's getting that block and steal upside, the points, the rebounding, playmaking if she needs to. All great things. I know they're going to be working Diamond back into the mix, but I don't think that should take any hit to Fee and what she's going to go out there and do. With Lindsey Allen being in there, maybe Lindsey might look her way a little bit more, maybe some easier looks or something like that for Fee. But at the end of the day, I don't think you can go wrong with that right there for her. Again, Shepard is out, Powers is out. the biggest thing and why I'm not going to mess with too many of the bigs and stuff for the Lynx is the fact that Achonwa's now not on the injury report. That is interesting to me because she's been on the injury report for so long, but now she's not. So she possibly could play some minutes. They might let her go out there and get some burn. So I'm not going to mess with Milik. I'm not going to mess with Emily, and I'm not going to mess with Dorka. It's really just kind of a clutter rotation that they got right there at their backup big position anyway. And then for the guards, of course, Lindsay Allen sitting at 4-1. Starting point guard playing against the Storm, who also themselves give up some pretty decent numbers to opposing point guards. She's coming off of back-to-back games where she at least gave us 22.25 fantasy points in 28 minutes. Roughly, she should probably play, I'd say 33 minutes. So we know she pretty much has a safe floor in regards to what she's going to go out there and do. Not too flashy. She's really going to be more of a playmaker out there. Yes, she could score a little bit, but it's the playmaking for her in what we're looking for in her and what she's going to bring to the table. And then Kayla McBride, definitely a GPP play. I have my eye on her a little bit. A spot where I could see she might be able to pop off at low ownership. She hasn't had a big game in quite some time. Definitely a spot where if that three-point shot is falling, hey, it could be a Kayla McBride game. Definitely on the radar. Come down to the last game, we got the Dallas Wings taking on the Phoenix Mercury. And, of course, as always, take this time. If you guys do not have an account on DraftKings, make sure you guys check that deposit match bonus so you can go ahead and play over here on the King with me. And also, if you guys have not subscribed yet and you guys want to continue to see this content, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything that I put out over here on the channel. All right. Dallas Wings taking on the Phoenix Mercury. This game, it interests me a lot because this is, of course, like I said, two bad teams. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, my Wings are bad. Two bad teams going up against each other who we know give up a lot of points and stuff to opposing positions up and down the roster. Up and down, period. Looking at it, Enrique, last time going up against the Phoenix Mercury, they played twice this season. First game, 35 minutes, she dropped 27 fantasy points. In the redemption game, 38 minutes, she dropped 48.75 fantasy points. We know she can go out there, she can score, she can do whatever it is that she wants. She's really great. If her shot is falling, she's definitely picking up on the assist side and stuff like that. She's in a good spot, great spot. I do like her here at 9.9, not bad. I will say this much. I do have some merit, and I have been thinking about it. Coming down and playing Crystal Dangerfield, who she doesn't have the same ceiling that Enrique has, but that ceiling is pretty nice. She's just coming off of a pretty high 45.5 fantasy points, 18 points, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. I know Crystal, she's going to go out there, she's going to play her behind off on the defensive side. I know that the Phoenix Mercury, they definitely can turn the ball over quite a bit. They can be sloppy. Now, in the games going up against the Phoenix Mercury this season, she hasn't played. She hasn't played in those games, so we don't have anything for Crystal going up in the spot. But I did do some digging and looking to see her in the time that she has played going up against them before. And I will say this much, that I have some interest in it simply because when she's gotten burned and run, she's actually done pretty well. 14 minutes, she only gave 9 fantasy points. 31 minutes, she dropped 31 fantasy points. 11 minutes, she had 5. And then prior seasons, just pretty decent. Her minutes are up. We know that she is a part of what they want to try to do on offense in regards to setting up stuff and things like that. When she's playing well, they are going to give her the run, the minutes, the burn. Having a two big targets in Kalani Brown and Tierra McCowan down there to be able to throw lobs to or things like that, get them down. If Howard's knocking down her shot, side two when she gets back going, definitely is a spot I will consider possibly playing Crystal Dangerfield on today's slate over Enrique. And that's just, I know she's going to be lower on. She's going to be lower on automatically. But it's still a good spot just for her as well. Crystal Dangerfield, she does technically play the point guard position. And Enrique is, like I always say, more of a 2 than she is a 1. They're trying to make her a 1. So depending on who's on, they definitely can both get going. Burton, Dickey, Jones, not looking at them. This game is expected to be close. They're not going to really get that burn and run. They're going to be the blowout queens of today. Going over Satou Sabally. I have interest. I like her here today. She had great games, back-to-back games going up against the Phoenix Mercury. 42.5 and 41 fantasy points in both of those games. She's coming off of some dud games. She hasn't really popped off for her 40-plus fantasy points in a while. Some people are thinking that is due to the fact that Tierra McCowan is back. Maybe that might be because Tierra McCowan is back. But also at the same time, her shot's just not falling. She's not as efficient as what she was earlier in the season. That shot's not falling. The 3-point shot's definitely not falling right now. Yeah, she's still going out there. She's getting her rebounds, and she's still doing it on the defensive side. But the shot's not falling. The playmaking is still there. The rebounds, they're up and down. But it's really her scoring. Her scoring has fallen down. She's just not being as efficient as what she was before. So hopefully, maybe this is a spot where she could turn that around. I definitely would have some interest for her. I'll say that she will be GPP right now. I'm going to look at some more numbers and decide on if I'm going to go with her or if I'm coming out here for the savings that I can get 9-6 Howard, who last time laid a dud. 38 minutes, gave us 21.25 fantasy points going up against the Spark. Now, in her 2 games going up against the Phoenix Mercury, she was the same weight as Enrique. First game, she only gave us 16.25 fantasy points. Second game, popped off at 43.75. So we know that she can pop off. We know she can do it. If her scoring is there and what she can do on the defensive side, definitely in the mix for what we can get. Tierra McCowan, she's going to be matching with Brittany Griner. This is going to be a spot where it's like, I'm not too sure if I want to mess with Tierra here in the spot. I know that she's going to be needed. You got both her and Kalani that'll be able to match up with BG. I know the question is going to be, is BG going to actually play her normal minutes? I think with the new coach, I think she's going to at least get about 30 minutes. At least. She played 19, 20 minutes last game. At least got to go. You want to win. You got to play your stars. You know, the GM literally talked about how the team is 2-10, if I'm not mistaken, and they want to win. This is not where they want to be. So if you're trying to turn it around, you're going to want to play your stars. You're going to want to run your offense correctly, and you're going to want to go and play your stars. Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, they should actually play decent minutes today. I would expect that from them today in this spot. But Tierra McCowan, probably going to be a fave for me at 8-1. I don't think I'm going to go there with her, nor Kalani Brown. And then, of course, the other two, not messing with those. Games should be close. They shouldn't really get too much run. Phoenix Mercury, Brittany Griner, sitting at 10-3. This is a spot. Possibly you can go to Brittany Griner. I know that she hasn't really played too many games going up against McCowan as she's been on the Dallas. In her 2 games going up against Dallas this season, though, she played 34 minutes. She gave 37 fantasy points and 30 minutes, and she dropped 32 fantasy points. Of course, those were games without McCowan, but Kalani Brown, she was there. So kind of, I guess we can somewhat compare the matchup right there in regards to it. Still, I'm not exactly too sure if I want to go there today, paying for BG at 10-3. Like I said, I like Easy, I like Fee in this spot. I might go down with some value or something like that. So not too sure for her. Megan is going to be out, so I think that's going to probably boost up some more minutes for Turner. Unfortunately, at 5K, again, I'm not going to mess with Turner. That's pretty much the backup 5 right there when Brittany Griner is going to rest. And then Wnba, you can definitely go here, sitting at 7-8. Her 2 games going up against Dallas, she played 17 and 27 minutes. 27 minutes, she actually dropped 24 fantasy points, and they're actually giving her more minutes and more runs. She's actually been playing pretty well over the last couple games. This 12-minute game, she got injured, so don't pay attention to that one. But she's been looking very well out there in her minutes, cutting, slashing, doing a little bit of the dirty work out there. Now over here to the guard side, we got Sutton, Cunningham. We need to get that news about Cunningham. If she's going to be out, then of course that's going to thrust Mariah Jefferson into the starting lineup. Now, I have a little bit of interest in Sims, who is sitting at 3K. This is interesting to me just because she played 20 minutes in that blowout game. 20 minutes. Yes, she is signed to a hardships after being waived by Phoenix Mercury. Okay, so they signed her. So she's back with them. My question is just going to be if she's going to get about that 15 to 20 minutes at 3K in a cake matchup going up against my going up against my Dallas Wings, who are horrible on the defensive side. 3K, you kind of can't go wrong. Just a little thought, sneaky thought that I had. But Diana Taurasi sitting at 7-3. If you're going to tell me she's going to come out here and put up a fantasy point per minute, and in her games going up against Dallas, 36 minutes, she dropped 43.5 fantasy points. And then in the second game, she played 28, and she got 27 fantasy points. A fantasy point per minute going up against the Dallas Wings. I like that if you're going to at least give me her 30-plus minute game. Sitting at 7-3, after the injury, her price just plummeted and dropped. She's in literally one of the best spots on the slate. Tremendous ceiling value. And again, like I said, new coach possibly comes out here and tries to put on a show. Possibly comes out here and the coach is running some stuff for her to actually do her thing and do what she does. I will have some interest, especially if Cunningham is going to be out. That perimeter offense is not going to be there. Diana Taurasi, she might be able to jack up some extra threes. And we know when she gets hot and she gets going, DT can put on a show. So I will have some interest in Diana Taurasi here on today's slate. Hopefully my girl Skylar Diggins-Smith, she comes back soon and rejoins the team. All right, now because I have said to you guys I will start covering FanDuel, I am going to go ahead and actually look at the FanDuel slate. If you guys are watching this and you see that my face keeps freezing and pausing, I don't know what the heck is going on with the camera right now today. But that's not gonna stop the talking that I'm doing. So coming over here, looking on FanDuel, we've already pretty much touched on everything. Down here, they got the guards for the Sun price way down. Carrington, she's sitting at 4.7. Tiffany Hayes, 4.9. Heidemann, 4.1. Definitely value right there that we can go ahead and take from them over here on this side, 110%. Not really going to touch any of these up here. The only one will probably be Dewana Bonner sitting at 6.9. That's not a bad spot. Jonquil Jones sitting at 5.8. If we feel like this is the redemption arc for her here, and we know that her block and steal upside is going to be more over here on FanDuel than it is DraftKings, definitely have some interest. But Kayla Thornton at 4K over here, and Rebecca Allen, both of these will have to be in consideration for me just because the price is so cheap. And like we said, Thornton, she's getting a boost in the minutes, and last time out, 17.3 fantasy points in 24 minutes. Definitely will be into consideration in regards to what she could do. Brianna Stewart at 9.7. Alyssa Thomas, both of them, just like I said in the other game. Over here to the Storm and the Lynx, Easy sitting at 7.6. Interest in that. Fee at 8.6, much cheaper than both of the two bigs in that game. Interest in that, of course, as well. Everyone else like here, like I said, with Achonwa being back, I'm not too sure exactly how it's going to go. Now, if they throw a monkey wrench out there and say that Achonwa's going to start at 3K, I might have to bite. That's crazy at 3K. That's like when they made Tierra McCowan 3K on the slate and you pretty much fit her in and you took down something because for some reason she was low owned. So definitely check that out. Think about that. But Easy, Fee, definitely two players I would look at on this side. And then Jewel Lloyd, of course, like I said, 8.4. I don't mind, hate that. And then of course you have the value in Lindsey Allen at 4.1 and Jordan Holmes at 3.8. So you got value right here in regards to this game of what you want to run right here. Lindsey Allen, of course, at 4.1. Just go ahead and play that over here on FanDuel. That pretty much is kind of your free square. You know she's going to get the minutes to run in the burn. 4.1, go ahead. She's secure over there on that spot. Now, in this game, of course, like I said, Arike, Diana Taurasi, both of them are in great spots. DT at 6.3, I would lean her just because I'm feeling like she'll have a pretty decent game. And then if we get the information about Sophie Cunningham, that just further increases my interest in Diana Taurasi. Dangerfield at 5.1 over Arike 7.5. Again, like I just said, I do have some interest in Dangerfield. Mariah Jefferson, if she's going to get the start for Sophie Cunningham, you kind of got to look at that at 4.3. Definitely another spot you want to go to. And then for the forwards over here, Satu is at 8.2. Natasha Howard at 7.2. Some interest right there in Natasha Howard at the 7.2. Plus, if she gets that steal and block upside that she can get, definitely will have to consider that as well. And just the value is right there for her. So, you know, we're getting some pretty decent value. Wnba, I don't think you can go wrong playing that right there. And then everyone else, they're a wash in regards to what we're looking at over there. All right, last thing. Prize Picks. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, check the link down in the description below so you can get that $100 deposit match bonus. And come over here. It's Taco Tuesday. So we got some tacos coming up. I really don't know too much about this one right here for the League of Legends one, but we're more interested in the WNBA. I will tell you right now, my favorite play so far right now over here on the W, besides being, of course, a first half play, fantasy points. Where are you at? Where did she go? Diana Taurasi, again, at 14.5 fantasy points. Like I said, I really just feel like this is going to be a spot she can pop off. I do have some interest in that right there. That definitely will be something that I will consider on today's slate. Again, another GPP-ish type play would be Jonquil Jones in regards to what she could possibly go out here and pop off and do. I will have some interest in that as well, just because I feel like this is just the redemption arc for Jonquil to go out here and actually have a pretty decent game. So both of those will be considerations of what I want. I don't see the player I was looking for over here right now. But favorite play currently right now is going to be Brianna Stewart for her 2.5 blocks and steals. It's going to be one of my plays that I'm looking at using for the Power 2 today for our ladder challenge on today. Yeah, she hasn't gone over that in the past 3, but with the fact that the Sun, they take a lot of shots in mid-range, and they are kind of sloppy. Alyssa Thomas can turn the ball over quite a bit. I do have some interest in Stewie going over that 2.5 blocks and steal. So that'll be my play over here right now currently. If you guys want my full play for today, I will drop another 6-pick slip over on the Patreon. So check the link down in the description below for that, so you can get in there for that. $10. Promise you make the back within your first week. You know, we over here, we're trying to cash out. So, yeah, that's going to be it for me. You guys got any comment, questions, or anything like that, talk to me down in the comment section. If you have not subscribed already, make sure you do so. Hopefully, I see you guys in the green. It's your boy Zoe. See you guys tomorrow.